hello. I'm just gonna make sure that the streams have actually started, the places where I expect the streams to start. Excellent. Twitch is looking good. Just waiting for YouTube. Always a slowpoke. Water on my glasses. Hi. How's it going? Hopefully good. Hopefully better than me. I'm seeing a loading circle. While we're waiting for YouTube to catch up. Howdy. I've got my little hedgehog mug today. Isn't that cute? It's been a frustrating week. Yep, for me, particularly in terms of getting Rasa work done. Why is that, you are asking? So I uninstalled Python, Rasa, everything. Error occurred. That's not good. How's Twitch going? Twitch is fine. Okay. Oh, it's working. Okay. I just got an error for some reason. So I uninstalled Python. I uninstalled Rasa. I uninstalled all my libraries and dependencies. And I'm starting from scratch. And if you are wondering why, it's because I'm filming, or working on filming, an installation guide for Windows. And I outlined all the steps, and I got down to business, and it was all going super well, and then suddenly it wasn't very quickly. So today we're going to install stuff and see if we can get it working. The specific problem that I'm having is with TensorFlow accessories, auto dependencies. I want to say auto dependencies, but that's not the word. And what I'm going to try doing is something that I haven't tried before, which is going through the Anaconda shell. Well, no. Let me first show you the thing that is weird. There we go. All right. So right now I don't have Python installed. I've uninstalled it. I should see that when can I make it bigger for y'all? There we go. A little large in the window size. Weird that they zoomed that as well and not just on the content. But you know what? I'm sure that was a design decision made with, scooch me over a bit as well, excellent intentions, and that somebody finds it very helpful. So where Python, excellent. So you can see that I have this, I've uninstalled all my Python executions. I have this Windows app Python here. And starting in a relatively recent version of Windows, when you hit Python, what you get is a little pop-up window that points you to the Microsoft Store where you can download Python 3.8. Did I tweet? I don't think I tweeted. So that's what Python does, just like the command Python on Windows 10 machines out of the box. So Windows, unlike Mac and Linux, does not come with Python pre-installed, and instead you have this option. The problem with this is that if you install Python not through the App Store and you have it on your path, this guy takes precedence. So if I install Python using like an executable or something, and then I try to start a Python session and I haven't installed it through the App Store, I will instead open the App Store. And if I had installed it through the App Store, I'll open the version that I installed through the App Store. This took me a solid day to figure out. I couldn't understand why I kept getting this weird pop-up. I have since figured it out. And this is, I think, a known problem. Sorry, I was just sending a tweet so that people know that we're live. So this is a known problem. The blog post where they announced this has a bunch of people in the comments being like, this broke everything. Why? And I get why they did this, because if you are a student and you're like, they decided to open the command prompt and type in Python, and that's going to work in, you know, a bunch of other operating systems, but not in Windows. This gives you a nice workaround. And it's not actually necessarily a problem, right, that this does this. So let's let's not install this for now, and we'll come back to it later. The problem with this is it's only Python 3.8, and you have no way to change anything about the version when you're installing through this little app store, Microsoft Store app thing. And one of the specific things that I need, let's see. Oops, sorry. Is I saved the error so I could get it. So the error I am having is specifically with TensorFlow add-ons. And TensorFlow add-ons in Windows is only supported relatively recently. So let me see if I can find the GitHub issue. I rebooted last night and just closed all my tabs and I'm just starting fresh. Pranav says, good luck, Rachel. Installing is the most difficult thing ever. Thank you, Pranav. Naura says, how are you? Python 3.8 seems absolutely new for me. 3.8 is fine, not a problem with 3.8. The problem is with the dependencies of TensorFlow add-on, which is a specific library that lets you do matrix transformations. And you need for various other things in Rasa. And the problem with that is that there is a Windows compatible pip install, but I think it's only up to either 3.6 or 3.7 Python versions. So I can't install TensorFlow add-ons using Python 3.8. And if I install a different version of Python, my sessions won't start there because this Windows app version takes precedence in the path, and I can't figure out how not to because it's managed by my system. So that's where I am. Bookworm Girl says, this is super exciting. Never watched a live coding session before. Welcome. I hope this is more fun to watch than it is to do. So I spent 2 days wrestling with this, and I did try conda. No luck. I did get slightly farther in the command prompt and than I did in either PowerShell or Bash. So you can get Bash in Windows. It's a little bit funky. There's a lot of aliasing. And that's where I am. Rosal Gould says, reporting in. Hello, welcome. I feel better that there's people here. This has been very frustrating for me, and I just keep trying different things and getting slightly further every time, and it feels like nothing's happening. And I mean, ideally, I'd like to help people install Rasa on Windows in such a way that you don't have to downgrade your Python install, and that would be great. Rachel, you may be asking, you had this working all before. How did it work? Well, this thing with the Python executable was added after I installed Python the last time. So the last time I installed Python, and I think if you tuned in last week, you saw that I had a bunch of different kernels installed, but those are all gone forever. And I think that must have, when the update happened, it must have been put in the path below existing Python installs, but not below new Python installs. So, well, Ryan says, want to see how to open the path step on Windows. It's got a menu. I think I can get that. I think it's like system information. Nope, that's not it. Oh, also, in case you were wondering what I'm working with, here it is. The important parts are that it is 64 and that it is Windows 10. Clumsy Donkey says, I got accepted to a Master's of Science in AI. Super excited. Congrats. That's fantastic. So that's where I am right now. And the thing, so I've tried a couple of different environments here. So PowerShell was awful. I would not recommend trying to do this with PowerShell. Bash was, if possible, worse than PowerShell. I got the farthest with the command prompt. And apparently Anaconda has their own shell. And I think today I'm going to try downloading Anaconda and only working in the Anaconda shell and see if that helps. And we'll see how it do. Oh, one sec. Let me pause that. That should help bitrate a little bit. Stapo TV says, do you know how to convert a 3D list to a tensor in Python, in PyTorch? I got no idea, my dude. Or person, sorry. Dude is gender neutral for me, and I'm trying very hard to stop saying it as just like a way to respond, because I realize it is not gender neutral for everybody. What was I looking? Anaconda. These results are about actual snakes. All right. Chiboo. Anaconda Individual Edition. That is what I am looking for. Naura says, interesting, why Windows? Well, the specific thing that I uninstalled everything for is to do an installation video on Windows. That's why I use Windows for live streaming. The streaming ecosystem on Linux is much worse, and that's sort of my other... I've used Linux for work for, God, over a decade at this point. And this past 2 months, like the first time I've tried to do serious development on Windows outside of just like Jupyter notebooks, and it's a very different experience. But also, I know a lot of people work on Windows and develop on Windows as their full-time job, and Rasa supports them, and I want to support them. And I just also want it to work. That's the other thing that I want. So good question. Then yeah, also once I get this figured out, hopefully we'll have a nice, basically I want the content that I'm currently creating, but it doesn't exist yet, so. All right. Doopa-doopa-doopa-doo. Python 3.7, I think that'll work, and I'm actually gonna go with the graphical installer because I think that will be slightly more interesting to look at with your eyes. Yeah, it took me on my Linux machine. Yes, let's do that. Copyright, BSD, fine by me. Let's just do just me. Anaconda 3, that'll work. Okay, so here the options are. Can I make this bigger? I cannot. Register Anaconda 3 as my default Python 3.7. This will allow other Python programs such as Python tools for Visual Studio, PyCharm, Wing IDE, PyDev, and MSI binary packages to automatically detect Anaconda as the primary Python 3.7 on the system. And the other option is add Anaconda 3 to my path environment variable, not recommended. Instead, open Anaconda 3 with the Windows Start menu and select Anaconda 64-bit. This add to path option makes Anaconda get found before previously installed software, but may cause problems requiring you to uninstall and reinstall Anaconda. I'm gonna try this. So it's not recommended, but it's possible that it will be in path above this Python install, because this is under local Microsoft Windows apps. So hopefully that will make Anaconda the default the Anaconda version the default version of Python. So Ryan says H2O is on the Anaconda site there. Is it? Oh, so it is. Sweet. Also, Anaconda supports both Python and R, as does H2O. And I guess TensorFlow technically. All right, let's give it a try. Last time I installed Anaconda, I've been installing and uninstalling stuff a lot recently. I did not do the path version, and it did not work. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it'll be better this time. Dauda says, useful tutorial. Well, I would say that this is not a tutorial so much as watching me struggle live, and then in the end, there will be a nice tutorial. Same one for on Mac for Rasa and Rasa X deployment. Yes, absolutely. I'm doing the Windows one, and I think Vincent is doing Mac and Eusta's doing Linux. Anyway, we definitely see that there's a need for these tutorials as evinced by my struggle bus. So keep an eye out for those. And Leonardo says you have to add the first option, otherwise you set up the path manually. Yeah, I think for us right now that's the best choice. And if we're wrong, we can just uninstall it. It'll be fine. Omar says, hello, Rachel. Hello, Omar. Setting up the base environment. Oh, fun. Da, da, da. Preparing transaction, working done. All right. Rachel Anaconda, Python, uninstaller completed. All right. Omar says you'll need to add Anaconda path manually in the environment variables. So I think I don't really like PyCharm for no reason. Like, there's no reason why I don't like PyCharm. I just tried it a couple times and have never been down with it for... I think it's because I wanted RStudio, and then I opened it up and I was like, this is RStudio, and I was just upset about it. Are these links? Is this going to open tabs? Yeah, it'll open tabs. Okay. We might want those later, so let's do that. Clumsy Donkey says, I switched to Linux decoding 2 months ago on Manjaro with my dev environment set up. Things run pretty smoothly as of now. Yeah. I would say as long as you're not doing AV stuff, Linux is fantastic. For AV stuff in particular, it's a little rough. I spent 1 summer of graduate school wrestling with Linux audio codecs, and it did not end well for me. Yeah. Chakarapini, my apologies if I'm mispronouncing that, said, does the live session happen on any specific day or every day? Wednesdays and Fridays is when it happens, which is about as often as my voice can take because it's a lot of talking. All right, now we should... Okay, excellent. So now we have our Anaconda prompt. And an R one as well. I don't think I want PowerShell. All right, now this should be 3.7.6. Fantastic. Do I get the same thing from my command prompt? Sorry, this is a little small. Beep, 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 beep. Why does the window get bigger? Nobody wants that. This behavior means I want to zoom in. Sorry, I'm just a little bit frustrated by the UX. Okay, and then in the command prompt, I think this will, yeah, okay. So system-wide, Python is still opening this App Store thingadoogle. Peace out. But in the Anaconda prompt, we are in the Anaconda environment, and it is working. So far, so good. Excellent. And now I have to remember how to install stuff with conda. Because I use pip pretty much exclusively. Sorry, a little bit of a runny nose. It's allergy season in the northern hemisphere right now. There's some like lovely trees outside, and you can see all the little like, you know, pollen-y bits sticking out. TensorFlow, Anaconda. All right, here's the first results. All right. Oh, interesting. So you can do like a virtual end just with TensorFlow. Interesting. All right, let's give this a try. And people are telling me the commands. Let me try that. This one's conda. Actually, first let's conda install. Well, that's baking. Naura says, currently I'm learning TensorFlow. Some colleagues are using PyTorch. Are there principal differences in your opinion? I mean, I would say that if you are working on a team that is predominantly using one tool set, use that tool set. For me, the biggest difference as a user is that TensorFlow is a little bit lower level and PyTorch is a little bit higher level, although TensorFlow 2.0 is a little bit higher level than 1.0. I tend to see TensorFlow as more of like a research platform. So you have it's sort of like the difference between SpaceC and NLTK. You have a lot of ability to, not that TensorFlow is not designed to be put in production, it is, but you have a lot of ability to make very fine-grained specific changes and try new things. Solving environment, done. Oh, thank you. That is something that I needed. Whereas in PyTorch, because it's a little bit higher level, you have a little bit less wiggle room. Hell yeah, update that. Scintillating, I'm sure. Jerwin says, are past broadcasts free to watch? They are, absolutely, and they are on the Rasa YouTube channel. One sec, I can get you the link. And they should all be in a playlist called Livecoding. And then so I've been Livecoding for a while, and before I was at Rasa, I was at Kaggle. And I don't know that I can install. Well, let's try it. Okay, so Rasa is not on conda. Can I pip install in the same environment? Is that gonna work? Poip. All right. So this is where I've been running into problems with dependencies, and we'll see how it goes. So my Kaggle live coding ones are on the Kaggle channel. Jordan says, yeah, I know you from Kaggle. Oh, great. Omer, English language datasets. Probably the biggest and most well-known open source dataset is the Ubuntu dialog corpus, speaking of Linux. And I believe there's actually a version that I uploaded to Kaggle a while ago. And it is out of McGill. So this is a really hefty dialog corpus if that's what you're looking for. It's in English. It is very domain specific. It's like requests for help on the forum. So, and Ryan says you can also pip install within an Anaconda environment. Thank you. Robbie says PyTorch for research too. Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. You can absolutely use PyTorch for research and TensorFlow for higher level stuff. Although probably using Keras. I mean, I would. Yeah. Jose says, hi there, what's Rasa? So Rasa is an open source conversational AI framework. So if you wanted to build virtual assistants or chatbots, we're an open source option. And if you are a business building assistants and chatbots, we have a free version of our software to sort of like iteratively improve your assistant over time. And then we also have an enterprise version for building enterprise level assistants. Yep, so that's what we do. Good, cute. Ryan says, yeah, I just saw Pip is installing pulling in TensorFlow and trying to install it as well. I did notice that. Also, I don't think this is going to be the right version. I think it needs to be between 1.20 and 1.21 off the top of my head. But we'll give it some time, you know? All right. Spider. Spider's an IDE. Why are you installing Spider? Robbie says, you wrote she, her on Twitter. What does it mean? So those are my pronouns. So if you're referring to me, you'd say, that's Rachel. I like her live coding. She live codes or something like that. Bargrab says, like chatbots. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this looks like error messages. Let's see what it says. Okay, so we're getting some So when I mentioned on Twitter dependency hell, that just means that you are struggling to get specific versions of things that match up with the versions that you're trying to install. So that's what these errors are. But I will say these are different errors than the ones that I've been struggling with recently. So we can try that. So it looks like TensorFlow CPU is TensorBoard. Okay, so our TensorBoard install is too new. So let's try installing a specific version of TensorBoard. Install TensorBoard. TensorFlow 2.1.0 has the requirement TensorBoard 2.2.0, 2.1.0, but you have TensorBoard 1.1.5, which is incompatible. All right. Jerwin says, is there any way we can help with the COVID-19 research? Any open source projects available? Not that I know of off the top of my head. Like, I know enough epidemiologists to know that I'm very much not an epidemiologist. I believe Folding at Home is running sequencing. So if you have spare GPU, you can provide it there. Yeah, I think the best thing that we can all do is to chill at home with our coffee. Clumsy Donkey says, TensorFlow received an official certification, not free. Plan on applying. Have you heard of it? I have not, but it does not surprise me. There's lots of good folks on the TensorFlow team. Okay, let's try. So if I try just Rasa. It works. Okay, excellent. So let me real quick, just real quick write down what I did. So that I do not lose this very important, I mean, I guess it's recorded, but, All right, so this is what I expect to see when you initialize a new project. So we installed conda, we launched the Anaconda prompt, not PowerShell. Oh, right. And when we installed conda, we added it to our path. Then we launched our Anaconda prompt, and then we... Why am I doing this? There's such an easier way to do this. Up arrow. Oh, wait. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, no, actually I want it in a very different place. Okay, and then we conda installed TensorFlow and pip installed Rasa. And then Rasa init, and that worked fine. Fantastic. And specifically we did 3.7 because I believe that the Windows dependencies for TensorFlow add-on that Rasa uses will not work with 3.8, Python 3.8. And that may change, and hopefully it will be updated, but important to know. All right. All right. So it is working. Rachael said, would pip install make a difference if using Anaconda prompt main using pip install instead of conda install? Maybe in the Anaconda prompt, but I struggled enough with it and this works, so I think I'm going to go with this for right now. But good question. All right, so let's, God, remember how to change directories. I think it's just CD. I think it's just CD, and then ls is dir. Windows is documents, and then I'm trying to remember where my specific, I think it's like Rasa project, yeah, and then I know I can do the whole path at once. And then it's called new Rasa projects, new Rasa project, and then this should be empty. dir is the Windows version of ls. Yes, excellent, nothing in the folder. Fantastic. Yeah, let's start up. We're here, why not? So now that we've got everything installed, hopefully I should be able to just do Rasa init, which should still be on my path. Yep, that'll work. Current directory, absolutely right directly over it. Please and thank you. Do you want to train an initial model? Hell yeah. All right, we got us an error. Cannot retrieve policy from path memoization policy. During handling of the above exception, another exception occurred. No. Not TensorFlow add-ons. No. Okay. No, it's fine. Let's try conda upgrade. TensorFlow? No. Okay. Well, I was hoping it was that. Yeah. Bugger says CD4 didn't come back. Change directory, I think. And then dir for list. Yes. Black Hole says, be safe, guys. Yeah, you'll too. I've not left my apartment in like almost 2 weeks now, so that's a fun time for all. Ganesh says you need to install TensorFlow version 1.5.0. I believe that it's looking for 2.0.1. Yeah, okay, so this version of TensorFlow add-ons requires TensorFlow version greater than 2.0.1. It's detected 1.5.0, so I need to upgrade. So I think I need to... Sorry, do I need to upgrade or downgrade? I thought I needed to upgrade. Requires 2.0.1, detected 1.0.5. So currently it's 1.15.0. Upgrade. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I need to upgrade. I think it's already 1.15.0. Conda upgrade, somebody mentioned. I think this might be happening because I did that thing where I tried to downgrade TensorBoard and it also downgraded TensorFlow. Already installed. Okay. I don't think this is going to work. How do I get the version? No. Okay, that didn't work. You downgraded TensorFlow when you pip installed. Oh, did Rasa downgrade TensorFlow? That's going to be a problem, huh? Okay, so this is where it happened, and the command that we did was... Okay, so it was the pip installing TensorBoard that downgraded TensorFlow. Okay, so it wasn't... I don't think it was Rasa. I think it was me being silly. So let's do pip install TensorFlow. Okay, so I think right now I actually have 2 TensorFlow. Okay, 2.1.1. So let's see. We should be able to just do Rasa train to train our model and see if that works. Okay, so I think I have the version I installed through conda and then the version I installed through pip. I may need to do some changing. Exception. TensorFlow add-ons requires TensorFlow greater than 2.1.0. I thought I was at 2.1.1. Detected installation is 1.15.0. Please upgrade TensorFlow to import. CPU. Uninstalling successfully installed TensorBoard 2.1.1. All right. Omar says pip list. Hey, the geophysicist and anarchy. All right. TensorFlow is 2.1.1. TensorFlow add-ons is 0.8.3, which is good because I think it needs to be above 0.8.0 for Rasa right now. Interesting. Okay, so can I uninstall it with conda? Maybe that'll work. Maybe that's the problem. Let's see. Conda uninstall. Here, just show me the list. Build, convert, debug, install, uninstall. All right. Conda uninstall TensorFlow. So the specific place where we're having the problem is in the dialog policies, one of the dialog policies. So there's sort of, yep, let's give that a try. 2 bits in the part of Rasa that does the dialogue stuff. Train. You have the entity and intent identification, and then you have the what do you say next. And the problem that we are running into is in the part that's like, what do you say next? No module named Google Protobuf. Noted. All right. What sort of errors are we getting? Okay. So I think did uninstalling TensorFlow through conda also uninstall it through pip? No. So it's still there with pip. Omar and Ryan say you need to uninstall TensorFlow CPU. Oh, that makes perfect sense. So the computer I'm on now has a GPU. So let's try pip uninstall TensorFlow.cpu. See if that works. And then there's another CPU estimator, so that might also, yep, peace out. We also might need to remove that. Let's see if this works. No module named TensorFlow. Okay, I think I need to install TensorFlow GPU edition. All right. Conda install TensorFlow GPU. That's the first autocomplete. All right, let's take a peek. Meta package for selecting a TensorFlow variant. Conda install C flag TensorFlow GPU. All right, let's try that and see if that's gonna work. Put you up there, and I want the Anaconda prompt not. It's thanking. Not the command prompt because that won't work. All right. Geophysicist says, been through that hell for sure. Yeah, it's unfortunate. TensorFlow 2.1 should have both automatically, but as always with TensorFlow, that's a big if. Yeah, it's a fast-moving library. All right. Omar says, create a conda environment and do your work there so there'll be no confusion. And Abhishek says, you have to change base to TensorFlow env. Okay, so that's going to be like a virtual environment specifically for conda. I'm not entirely sure what the difference between a TensorFlow env and a conda environment is. And I believe that by opening the prompt, I'm already in a conda environment. I believe, if my understanding of the Anaconda prompt is correct. But I could be wrong about that. Knowledge Within says, conda environment with a TensorFlow. With TensorFlow, geophysicist says you're in the conda base env. Okay, so I was incorrect in my understanding there. Conda environment with TensorFlow. All right, so create conda env. Failed with repo data from current repo.json. We'll try with next repo data source. All right. Managing environments. Creating an environment with commands. Conda create -- name my env. So this is the So this is the page I'm on now. Okay, so this is a conda managed virtual environment. Update environments, they have different versions between environments. It's called activating the environment. Okay, so very similar to virtual environments, but if you can't tell, I have not worked with conda a whole bunch. All right, gotcha. How are you doing? No, I don't want that. So it's installing TensorFlow 1.14.0, and we need at least 2.1.0. So, peace out, buddy. Let's create an environment. How about? What was the command for that? Again, conda create -- name environment. Conda create name, and I'm just going to call it env because that's the sort of person I am. All right. Current location, users Rachael. No, I want it in my current directory. Okay, do I need to provide a path for that? Name not allowed with argument P prefix. So I don't want to create an environment that's just my whole system. KU says, are we just installing today, or are we going to make something later? I would love to be done installing. I would love to have this up and working. I can make no promises as a timeline. All right, conda create Rasa. Okay, so Omer? I've been saying Omar. I think it probably is Omer. My apologies. Says to just create the environment and then activate it. So does this mean that all of the conda environments I create will be available in any directory I'm in, as long as I'm under the... Oh! Gotcha. No, never mind. Have I already created an environment? No, I definitely have not. Oh, I see. That's how you knew it was the base environment. Gotcha. Okay. Are you sure conda's not... Oh, I bet it's because I have a space. There we go. I think I'm okay with all of those. What was the pip version? What was the pip version? Stop moving. I'm trying to see the pip version. 20.0.2. Okay, that should be fine. All right, and then we can do... One thing I don't like about this prompt is that when you do down arrow and continue doing it to your last command, it does not create a new blank line for you. Conda activate Rasa env. Let's try that. Let's try that spelled correctly. That's going to help. Activate. All right, excellent. Okay, so now we are in a Rasa environment. Excellent. All right. Geophysicist says it's like choosing your Python installation with all packages. One sec. Sorry, I gotta close the blinds. There we go. Okay. It was not supposed to be sunny today. Surprise. Geophysicist says, try installing everything through conda. So if I just try Rasa now. So Rasa is still installed, but TensorFlow is not. All right, now try installing TensorFlow. I'm going to try the conda TensorFlow install, because that's where we got the furthest last time. All right, and it looks like it's not installed. Wait, no, wait, hold up. No. We want the DPU version. Okay, so this is what we want. We want a conda install. What's this C flag? Does anyone know? Ryan says, it seems like Rasa automatically pulls the TensorFlow it needs. Maybe try that to start. Geophysicist says, don't do that. So I'm going to try just pip installing Rasa again. It seems like that's the consensus. Let's see if it works. One thing, so if the problem is just one of the specific dependencies in one of the specific policies, because each of the policies is coded differently, we could just change the policy in the code and then train with a policy that has dependencies that we have. The big problem with that is the memoization policy. So the way that Rasa works is you provide a bunch of sample conversations and well, not in like specific YAML formats. And then if there's a conversation that's going on and your training data includes exactly this sequence of events previously, the sequence of intents previously, it will, if it's pretty sure about all those intents, say that the next thing is the thing that it saw previously in the training data. So that's the memoization policy. Well then. Okay, so these were the... Okay, noted. So I have previously installed Microsoft Visual C++ 14.0 system-wide, but it looks like this environment does not know about that. Why do you need Microsoft Visual Studio C++? Sorry, Microsoft Visual C++ 14.0. In order to run TensorFlow on Windows. No, the TensorFlow team will not allow you to download it as part of the TensorFlow install, presumably because of licensing issues. So, Geophysicist says, is Rasa TensorFlow 1 or TensorFlow 2 compliant? I think it's 2. Not 100% sure. You know what? This is a... all our sort of dialogue code is open source, so we can check real quick. Docs examples, Rasa... Rasa core is the one where we're running into issues. That's just the init. No, actually, I think I probably do want to see the init. Rasa core. Gotcha. Okay, so just look at just Rasa. There we go. Init constraints, run server test train validator. I'm looking for the requirements, but I don't see it. Check the init. Well, this is side tracking. I do want this installed. Geophysicist says it looks like pip install Rasa was pulling 2.1, so I guess that's fine. Could be in setup.py. Sorry. No worries. It was me what got sidetracked. You asked a good question. Okay, so. And people who are telling me what the C flag is, it's to specify channel in the GPU install, which we did not end up doing. Because people told me not to, and I trust you guys. And I've been working on it for 2 days and have not made very much headway. So, All right. Omar says, try conda install JSON. I'm willing to give it a shot. Conda install JSON. Yes, I see how that could be. Let's give that a shot. But I think we still are going to need the C++ dependency. Give it another try. Okay, so I think the big difference is by installing in an environment, by installing in a conda environment, the environment does not have access to the C++ thing. What would you call that? Stuff. The C++ stuff that I downloaded and installed system-wide. And I am following Omar's suggestions. King End says, some advice, remove Windows, install Ubuntu, Pop OS. Yes, that's not going to help me make an installation video for Windows, and I know that people work in Windows, so I'm trying to make content for them. I don't see any errors yet. Still thinking. All right. What is JSON? I'm curious. Whoop. Go on in there. UltraJSON is an ultra-fast JSON encoder and decoder written in pure C with bindings for Python 2.7 and 3.5 plus. Oh, interesting. It's not entirely clear to me how that's going to help with the C++ dependency, but maybe it will. I don't know what they're using C++ for. Mystery to me. And it's just going through this very long list of things to install. Nalterson says, using WSL 1 and 2, it's pure Windows. It is, indeed, pure Windows. Which, as I've mentioned, not entirely my preferred my development environment. It's not my preferred development environment, but I use it for live coding, so I should get that working, huh? Omar says, it worked for me. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. What's pure Windows? The video? Yeah, the video. We're not using, WSL is like the Windows System Linux thing, right? It's like a Linux VM, I believe. I've only ever heard of it. I've never used it. But I also have my work computer, which is a Mac, and then my personal development machine, which is not in its usual place, which is Ubuntu. So I got all three systems. Not that Ubuntu is the only system. Geophysicist says Windows subsystem for Linux. That's right. Also nice, also its own problems. Does this have to be selected to keep going? It's a little bit worrying, but I'm just gonna wait. Ryan said, do you used to stream from Windows when you were at Kaggle too? I don't remember. I did. But because we were using hosted Jupyter and it was the same across systems, it didn't matter. I did not do a lot of stuff locally. Yeah, no, I've never streamed from Linux. I love myself too much. That's not fair. I think OBS does work on Linux, but a lot of the sort of other plugins and stuff that I do does not. And also my Linux box does not have enough RAM to both do things on and also do real-time chroma keying, which is a lot. So I've got a green screen behind me, and this like outline stuff is done in real time, and it is fairly resource intensive. Oh, okay. I think I probably should have just done that. I just hit the up arrow and it finished showing me all of the things that it just installed. Rasa train. Oh, I think I might need to init first, actually. So when we did Rasa init, we created a sample project called MoodBot that asks you if you're happy, and if you're not, it shows you a picture of a tiger. And it's just sort of our little sample project that we include so you can see how it works. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Epochs. Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. Let's talk to our bot. Rasa shell. It's gonna take a second. And if you're... Yes? Thanks. Hi. Hi, how are you? So sad. Just real gosh darn sad, y'all. I'm not that bad. Oh. What is this? Oh, it's a baby tiger. How cute. Yeah, that helped a lot. Yes. Excellent. Omar says you can just press enter. Sometimes it freezes. Yeah, I think it freezed. Excellent. So just real quick, let me write down what we did. Quit. Is my slashes backwards? Quit. There we go. Nope. Oh, interesting. Intent quit, which is not in the defined domain. So stop. I can never remember how to get out of shell mode. Stop. There we go. It's the other slash. Windows. Excellent. Okay. Hello, doctor. Hello. Is this your other pet? No, I just have the one pet. I have a hedgehog named Gustav, hence the hedgehog mug, and I've got a little stuffed hedgehog, and I've got a little stick, like a little pin that's a hedgehog, and I got a pen that's a... Listen, people give me hedgehog stuff, and I'm extremely into it. No complaints. Geophysicist says that's the Linux slash, though. I know, I just like, I get confused, and I just try random slashes until it works, and eventually it does. And Omar says, Control D, thank you. All right, that took an hour. What was the thing that I was looking for? So what we did was conda install UJSON, pip install Rasa, conda install UJSON, and then it worked. All right. And it looks like we did not actually need to install C++, which is great because that is a hefty download. And I would prefer not to tell people to download a lot of stuff they don't need to. Install conda, added to our path, launched the conda prompt. Conda install TensorFlow. Did we install TensorFlow in our environment? I don't think we did. And I can't just scroll up because that won't tell me the difference between what we did in our environment and what we didn't do. Scroll. Doing this exact thing on Linux took me 5 minutes. So this has been quite the learning journey for me. Pip install Rasa UJSON. Did we do UJSON first and then Rasa? I think we did, and that's what worked. I'm gonna play with it and make sure that the order is correct. Pip install Rasa. Installed Rasa environment, so still in the same one. So we did do conda install TensorFlow. And I'm going to put a little mark by that to make sure I know whether or not it's necessary. And then we conda install UJSON, ultra JSON, as I just learned. and then pip install Rasa, and then Rasa init, Rasa train, Rasa shell, all that nonsense. It's not nonsense. Pretty straightforward. Okay, I think we did it. Ryan says pip install Rasa did that automatically. Okay, so I shouldn't need to install TensorFlow separately. I should be able to just install it through pip Rasa. Fantastic. Including the add-ons. So the reason that we did it this way instead of using the built-in install version thing that Windows provided is that the TensorFlow add-on install thing, I don't know what it's called, for Windows does not support Python 3.8, and right now the installing from this one. So if you try to, so I have Python installed, right? I have 3.7 installed, but if I run Python in the Windows command prompt, because it's so high in the path, it will always either open up the Microsoft Store, or once you install it, always open up that version of Python, which again, not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not the version we want, and there's no way for me to say I want a different version, hence the conda. Oh, right, and the other thing that we did that I have not written down here is we started new conda session. New conda environment, and then we activated it. Just like your regular virtual environment. Geophysicist said, didn't you just pip install Rasa and conda install UJSON and the C++, of course? I think it should work without the C++. So my to-do is to uninstall C++ and make sure that this still works with that. But if it's a necessary dependency, which I think it might be for TensorFlow, then it's a necessary dependency, and we'll talk about it. All right. Thank you for your help, everybody. Hopefully this will be out in a much shorter form video in the nearest future, so you can follow along for your own installs. Omar says, I tried Rasa installing on Jetson Nano, but there was a problem with TensorFlow add-ons. Will you fix it? I don't know what a Jetson Nano is. Jetson Nano developer kit for AI algorithms, NVIDIA. Okay, so it looks like a mini graphics kit, maybe. I'm not a big hardware person, and it's not working. So it might be a driver's issue, maybe. You could post about it on the forums, but I think that's probably going to be more of a TensorFlow issue. So I would post about that on the TensorFlow GitHub would probably be what I'd do. I'd file an issue. Geophysicist said, NVIDIA dedicated thingy like a Raspberry Pi. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I could fix it. Let me put it this way. I know for a fact I personally cannot fix that without a lot of additional struggling. But yeah, it's developer kit. Yeah, I think your best bet's probably going to be talking to the TensorFlow folks with that, because I think they'd need to do something. I don't know. Thank you, everybody. We have Rasa installed. That's fantastic. I think it is not system-wide, but I can try. Yeah. So it is installed within our conda environment, which means that I need to use this environment for future work. But that's not bad. It should make it easier to, just for an instance, move into a Docker container or something. And I did think about doing it in Dockers, but installing Docker on Windows took me like a week. It was ridiculously difficult. And I think a big part of it was that I was less used to the Windows development cycle than I am now, but I still think it's a lot. That's a pretty heavyweight install, and Docker's big as well. So, Crop Pork says, Rachel, how are you doing with the confinement? I'm doing okay. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I would like to go out, but also I realize that the potential consequences are very bad and the potential upside is like kind of fine. So yeah, I'm chilling at home. It's fine. All right. Thank you, everybody, for your help. We've successfully shown ourselves a little picture of a tiger from Moodbot, which is fantastic, up and running, and we'll work on getting this into an actual tutorial soon. Information Rocket says you can add a directory to Windows path to make the command usable system-wide, if I recall. Yes, I don't know how that would interact with the conda environment because it wouldn't be activated. I don't know. Also, I'm done with Windows paths. Yesterday, the story of yesterday was messing around with Windows paths and it was awful. Geophysicist says you can test if it's reproducible by trying to do the same installation inside a fresh Windows OS Docker. Yeah, I'll probably do that. I do actually have Docker installed on this computer after much struggle, so I'm going to definitely make sure that it works. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you, everyone, for your help. I really appreciate it. I'm glad I have Rasa installed so I can keep working. Yeah. Look out for the video, and I will see you on Friday for my more live coding. And we're probably going to be actually working on our assistant that we were working on for a little bit that gives you a dialect quiz, and figuring out how to get that working. Oh God, all my Jupyter notebooks rely on a kernel that no longer exists, so I'm also going to have to fix that. Well, that should be fun. So we may still be making things work again, but you know what? That's fine. All right. Thank you for joining, and I will see you on Friday at the same time. Bye.